Good morning, Vietnam! Vietnam recently held the APEC meeting in Đà Nẵng, so today we wanted to take a look at the top 5 ways China and Vietnam are working together towards a shared future in Asia. China and Vietnam have enjoyed mutual benefits over the last few decades by participating in international organizations including APEC, AIIB, Asian Development Bank, Belt and Road Initiative, and the UN. The Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation was established in 1989 in response to the growing interdependence of Asia-Pacific economies. This organization has allowed China and Vietnam to work together to resolve disputes related to trade in the Asia-Pacific region. China and Vietnam are also part of the Asia Development Bank and the Asia Infrastructure Investment Bank, which allows both countries to help in the development of Asian nations. At a more global level, Vietnam and China are both part of the United Nations, which allows both nations to discuss global issues and help solve global problems. These international organizations are just a few of the many ways the two countries work together beyond bilateral agreements. Moving on to number 4, because China and Vietnam share a border, both countries work together to maintain security. One example of how they work together is the anti-terrorism drills held at the Vietnam-China border. The drills are designed to stop terrorists from crossing the border to conduct attacks. Each side needs to communicate and work together before the mock terrorists complete a task. Another example is the annual Vietnam-China Border Defense Friendship Exchange Program, which contributes to building a peaceful border according to the Vietnamese Deputy Defense Minister. These joint drills and others like them allow China and Vietnam to better communicate and understand each other's law enforcement strategies. Coming in at number 3 is environmental work. Both countries have been dealing with their respective pollution problems for many years, and more recently they have been willing to work together for a greener future. Vietnam is targeting a green economy, sustainable development, and an average GDP growth rate of 6.5 to 7% by 2020, which means foreign direct investment is an important driving force for a green economy. One example is a Chinese solar company, JA Solar, that invested an initial $320 million in the building and initial operation of a solar cell factory, which will increase to $1 billion as the operation is expanded to serve international demand. Chinese companies are also investing in wind, hydro, and other solar projects that should help improve the environment in Vietnam and provide energy to the local people. According to the World Bank Group, green buildings in Asia, including China, Indonesia, the Philippines, and Vietnam, have a climate-smart investment potential of $16 trillion, most of which is concentrated in the construction of new green buildings. That leads us to our number 2 most important way China and Vietnam are working together: infrastructure projects. Despite having achieved remarkable economic progress in recent years, Vietnam's weak infrastructure is seen as a hindrance to future development. In particular, major network upgrades to its transportation, power, and technology systems are desperately needed if it is to deliver smooth, cost-effective trade flow, seen as vital for the region's increasingly connected markets. Proponents of China's ambitious Belt and Road Initiative believe the initiative could benefit Vietnam enormously. Under the terms of the initiative, China will help fund and construct a world-class network of high-speed railways, motorways, pipelines, and ports across South and Southeast Asia, with Vietnam seen as a key component for economic revitalization. Most recently, a group of Chinese investors, including Sunshine Kai Di, have expressed interest in investing in Long Thanh Airport through a joint venture with a Vietnamese conglomerate, Lexinco. Long Thanh Airport, covering an area of 5,000 hectares, will require investment capital of up to $15.8 billion. Hong Kong investors also showed interest in developing a north-south highway, 1,300 kilometers long and capitalized at billions of dollars. They also expressed interest in a railway system in the Mekong area connecting the railway and seaport system in Cambodia. And our number 1 way both countries work together is trade. After both sides resumed trade links in 1991, growth in annual bilateral trade increased from only $32 million in 1991 to over $95 billion in 2015. Vietnam's export to China include crude oil, coal, coffee, and food, while China exports pharmaceuticals, machinery, petroleum, fertilizer, and automobile parts to Vietnam. Both nations are working to establish an economic corridor from China's Yunnan province to Vietnam's northern province and cities, and similar economic zones linking China's Guangxi Zhuan Autonomous Region and Vietnam's Long Son and Quang Nhi provinces. Air, sea, and railway lines have been opened between the two countries, along with national-level seaports. According to sources, China has increased its exports to Vietnam by over 277% from 2009 to 2016. This is a great achievement for both countries that allows China and Vietnam to work together for a stronger and more prosperous future. So there you have it, the top 5 ways China and Vietnam work together for a brighter, greener, and safer tomorrow. If you like this list, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more interesting videos about China. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.